This is News Channel 6 Nightcast. With Ron Beaton, Johnette Warwick, meteorologist Cal Sisto, Dave Winder with sports. And now, News Channel 6 Nightcast.
Good evening, everyone. Well, if you're sitting at home tonight watching the news, you've made a wise decision.
Yeah, it's a messy night still. Some roads, in fact, especially in the northern part of the area, becoming coated with sleet and freezing rain, and it looks like things may get a bit worse before they start getting better. Let's check in with Nightcast reporter Patrick Rocky, who hit the streets tonight. Patrick, what are you finding?
Well, Ron, the roads are mostly just wet right now, but the bridges and overpasses, like the one we're standing on, are beginning to freeze. In fact, my photographer, Dan Surgott, has literally been skating around here for the last half hour trying to set things up. Of course, the best advice for folks, as always, is just to stay home, but not everyone can do that. So earlier, we spoke with folks on the roads tonight.
Here in Columbia, Missouri, boy, talk about snow. They set a 24-hour snowfall record here, 19.4 inches in 24 hours.
Nothing like that here, but some travelers crisscrossing our region are heading into the eye of the storm.
As I came farther west, it continually got worse until...
When Ralph Kelly left his Salem, Missouri home yesterday, the sun was shining. Now he's on the way back.
I think I'm going to hole up when I get to Sykeston if I can find a place to stay. It's getting too bad for me. I'm too old for this foolishness.
The wintry weather is following others. Paul Roberts is traveling from Poplar Bluff to Nashville.
Well, it's snowing a lot in Missouri till you get to about the Mississippi River and Ohio, and then it changes over to more rain than snow.
Now, the good news tonight, the roads are pretty lightly traveled, people staying home, and that's a wise decision. The I-24 rest area at Whitehaven was just completely deserted tonight when we checked in there. Now, just a reminder, for the latest road conditions and any possible school closings, folks can stay tuned to News Channel 6 today at 6 a.m. Ron?
That's right. Thanks, Patrick, for the update. Well, let's quickly now turn to Lou Jaton for the latest on the forecast. Lou?
Well, we've still got a winter weather advisory in effect for southeast Missouri. That is in effect until midnight. That's really the only thing going. Now, we had some snow advisories for portions of northern and eastern Kentucky, but those have been canceled. We've still got light snow in the area. You can see it moving to the south at about 5 to 20 miles per hour. The critical thing that we're looking at, though, the temperature, which is hovering right around freezing. That's why some of these roads which are wet could develop some icy spots as we get on through the evening. But for the most part, I think most of the snow and the mixed precipitation is gone, but we're still going to see a little bit hanging around throughout the evening hours.
All right. Talk to you more in a minute.
Yeah.
Thanks.
The U.S. government is just one of many ready to pitch in and help the Japanese recover from the major quake that hit Tuesday. A Pentagon spokesman says just how much help the U.S. will send remains to be seen, as Japanese officials have their hands too full to make any estimates. The death toll from the 7.2 quake now stands at around 4,100, with hundreds more still missing. The U.S. has already sent 52,000 blankets for those left homeless and living in makeshift shelters. A House hearing on funding cuts for public broadcasting wrapped up tonight with no decisions made. A number of public radio and television officials took turns asking lawmakers not to cut back on federal funding for their programming. The chairman of the Corporation for Public Broadcasting says 87 PBS stations would go off the air if funds are withheld. House Speaker Newt Gingrich repeated his call today to cut off all federal support.
Missouri Congressman Richard Gephardt says Republicans do more harm than good by trying to push through parts of their contract with America. Republicans failed to stop a filibuster today that was aimed at cutting short debate on unfunded mandates. Gephardt says they didn't get enough votes because lawmakers realized the contract is flawed.
The Republicans ran on their contract, and it was, to some, very attractive. It was written by a pollster to be attractive. But when you get to the fine print of what this really means, it is not so attractive to people, and that heat from the public is now being felt by the Congress.
Gephardt, of course, leads the House Democrats. Debate on the balanced budget amendment will begin in the House Monday. Tomorrow marks the midway point of Bill Clinton's presidency, and Democrats want to assure the progress that he has made continues. The White House issued a 37-page document today outlining the president's successes, namely in fighting crime and promoting trade. Leading Democrats say they support change, but not if it hinders programs in the works like the crime bill.
There is still a lot to be done, but fundamentally, I think the message we want to convey is that we should do what needs to be done in a way that does not undermine what we have already accomplished, and which will allow us to continue to do the things we are already doing and are beginning to show progress.
Presidential aides claim 500,000 jobs have been created since Mr. Clinton took office.
Job creation, of course, leads to economic good times, the kind of good times a small Kentucky county is banking on. The ticket for success in Edmonson County could come in a thick black liquid some call Texas gold. Dave Nakdeman reports.
Edmonson County is south of Louisville in the Mammoth Cave area. The county has only 11,000 people, unemployment is high, and the tax base is reduced because Mammoth Cave Park occupies 1/4 of the county. But now oil wells are popping up in one area of the county. Bill Logston of Mid-South Oil says they hit some big ones recently.
It looks to be very oil rich at this time. We've hit some of the biggest wells that's been hit in this zone since 1922.
Logston says nearby Warren and Hart counties have produced oil for over 30 years, and that Edmonson could do the same.
I think it's one of the biggest strikes that's ever been hit in Kentucky.
Partner Martin Twist of Kentucky Eagle Company says some produce 400 barrels a day. At $18 a barrel, Twist says you're talking big money.
There's a trickle-down effect because of all the workers that come into the area and all the money that they spend. In addition to that,